Hi again, fellow unlicensed thinkers. Today I want to talk about the animals or the species that will never get a chance to exist because of your environmental activism. And we'll get to him in a second. He's part of this, but that's closer to the end. Right now, if you could hit the like button for me, I can't quite reach it from here. Thank you. It really helps me out in the algorithm. Now, it can be really easy in the world to see what's right in front of us and to care about what's right in front of us. Of course, I mean, it's right there. It's in our face. But it doesn't really speak to that which we can't see, that which we can't predict. And so there's this wonderful complexity that exists in the world that we deny by only looking at what is current and what is right there in front of us, and not really paying attention to that which has not yet come into being. And we don't really think about that. So we have all this environmental push to, save a particular species. But by saving a particular species, we are also not allowing that which would come into existence in its place, or that which would thrive because it no longer exists, or because it has a reduced population, or whatever it might be. The world, it's always changing, with or without us. I know our egos like to tell us otherwise, and that's wonderful. We have fantastic egos that we have evolved or adapted or created with, whatever you like to say. But do you really think that no species went extinct before we existed? I mean, that's ridiculous, right? There were species cropping up, they adapted to this, they adapted to that, environments changed, all this kind of stuff changed, and they either kept up with it or they did not. And so to say that it's all about us and that we know what's best and all this, no, we are just simply another species that adapted, evolved, was created, whatever, put into this environment. And so one thing always replaces another thing. And every species alive today, when it came into existence, changed the dynamics of its environment, and it pushed something else out. Maybe it helped another species survive or thrive. Maybe it caused another species to die off. This is every species that has ever existed on this planet has done this in some form or another. So is that to say that every species is evil and trying to destroy everything? Well, of course not. And so let's go even further back in time. How did all this stuff get here? All the things that make up me, all the things that make up the camera that I'm talking into, all of that. How did it get here? Well, there was a really big star at one point, and he knows it's just about time for his part, so he's showing up. So there was a really big star somewhere, and that star exploded. And that's the reason that all of the materials that exist in our world exist in our world. Now, let's say there was an alien species that said, oh, that's a really nice star. We should make sure that star doesn't explode and go supernova. We should make sure that star is preserved forever and ever. Well, then we never would have existed. There has to be this destruction, this changing of the guard, this allowance for one thing to exist and then another thing to exist and then that thing to become extinct itself and something else to take its place. It's this constant cycle. And I know the idea of Shiva plays into this a lot too, because that's the clearing of the path. And so even our pets exist because we exist. If we didn't exist, they wouldn't have been created. So that dog that you hug, that cat that you love, they exist because we created them, because we exist. So before us and after we're gone, there always has been and there always will be this system of figuring out what is best for the current conditions. It is our egos that make us think we know what's best and that our actions are the best, but we don't. There's just this cycle that happens. This cycle is happening all the time. Things fit into the new environment or they do not. That environment changes with or without us. We are not what causes everything as much as we'd like to think we are. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Be sure to hit like and share the video. Have a great day.